Hello, everybody. It's me, Christy Johnson. Again, if my voice sounds off, it's probably because I've been working pretty much with my head down close to the ground. So all the blood rushed to my brain. But I am happy to be here and reporting again on um, my garden. So I haven't really been a diligent gardener. Um, Life gets crazy. I have a family, I have kids, I have a job. And so I don't really get to do the garden the way that I want to. But I just want to show you what God did while I let my garden rest last year, or maybe apparently a couple years, because this thing you're looking at would not have been able to grow in 1 year. I pulled this up out of my garden bed, and this tree was driving me crazy. I said, I know this tree, I've seen it before. I need to know what it is. And I believe it's a flowering tree, a tree that I grew up around when I was a little girl. And I was like, I need to find out this tree, but if I don't have a name, how am I going to figure it out? So I began to research, and I asked my mother, what is the name of that plant that you have growing in your side backyard? And she said, I don't know. I just know it reminds me of hollyhocks. So I began to research trees that resemble hollyhocks. And I came across this tree and I was able to identify. So this is a Rose of Sharon. But the problem is that I'm like, okay, how do I get it out of my garden bed? Because I'm trying to plant my crops, but it's in my garden bed, taking up space. So what should I do? But I don't want to get rid of the plant because I just think it's a wonderful thing that this tree grew up, and it's a beautiful flowering tree. But I have nowhere to repot it in my yard. So I had an idea. I said, well, maybe I'll try to pull it up, repot it in a big pot, and try to sell it. And as you guys can see, I ended up digging it up by the roots. I dug around the roots and I dug it up. And there's another one on the side of it. There was three of these that grew up. There's another plant that's in the garden bed, another tree that's in the garden bed, but that's a different flowering tree. And that tree is called a mimosa. I'll do a video on that. But later on, I'm going to see if I can try to dig it up because it's really gotten big. um, I believe these will actually flower. And the reason why I say that they're even though they're young, I believe they're going to flower, is because if you can see, let me see if I can, okay, yeah. If you can see that little pod, I believe that is a seed from last year. So in order for this baby to have a seed pod, an old seed pod on it, means that it had to have flowered last year. Now, yeah, that's definitely a seed pod, or it could possibly be one of the old vines that's wrapped around it. Now that I'm looking at closer, it looks like it's one of another plant that kind of wrapped around it. But only time will tell. I'm going to keep it, and if I see flower buds, then I'm going to sell it, or maybe I won't sell it and just kind of have it, because I don't want to sell something and say that it's going to flower and it doesn't, and because my name, my brand is attached to that, so I want to make sure that it's going to do what I think it's going to do. But at any rate, this definitely is, because I've identified the leaves, this definitely is a Rose of Sharon tree. And as you can see, the roots, I try not to disturb the roots. I'm going to repot it and see what happens. It's an experiment. So I'll keep you guys up to date. It may not even make it, but I'm praying that it will make it in the name of Jesus. I put some Epsom salt in the dirt that I'm going to put it in. And Epsom salt is supposed to help with root growth. So I put 1 tablespoon in a gallon bucket. I think this is a gallon bucket. Look, see, I'm gonna put it in this gallon bucket and take some of the dirt out and put some other dirt. I've treated the dirt with also with neem oil so that any fungus that was growing in that basket or in the dirt, that the neem oil would destroy that. But also, what neem oil does is it also it acts as a fertilizer for the plant too, a natural fertilizer. So there you have it. That's my recording for today. If you're interested in these plants, get at me if you're close by, because I'm not traveling, and I don't have the capability of mailing these babies out. But if you're interested, give me a shout out or somehow, or the instant messenger or something, or email me and let me know if you're interested in these plants. I have 3 of them. But like I said, I don't know if they're going to survive. You might want to give it a week, and I'll let you know if they survive. Here's the one. This is the biggest one I have. Here's number 2, second biggest. I know that's not probably going to flower this year, but it might surprise me. I don't know. Then I have another one here. I already repotted it, as you can see, and that one gives me the most joy to look at. But since it's erect, you guys can look at the leaf structure, and that's what I looked at to identify it, is the leaf structure, to identify that this is a Rose of Sharon. Let me see. And Rose of Sharon, they usually go straight up. They're like an upright tree. They can bush out, but they like to go like straight up. So you can see that's what it's doing here. Don't mind those little old vines from last year hanging on to. I'm gonna clean that up, of course. But I was excited to see this, and I just wanted to show you that, what God has been doing in my garden while I've been pretty much lax on it. He's still growing things in here. So I just think it's amazing. So again, I will see you guys later. If you have any questions, comments, please get at me. I love questions. I love comments. And if you have any suggestions for me on what to do with these babies to make sure that they grow well. Okay, so I will see you guys on the flip side. All right, take care. All right, y'all. So this is the bush that I found growing in one of my one of my garden beds, and I didn't know whether or not it was truly a Rose of Sharon. And this morning I found, oh, here goes the wind. I found a Rose of Sharon blossom. So I am so pleased to find that, and that it really is a Rose of Sharon tree, because I didn't want to sell it and not be for sure that that's what it is. So there you go, the mystery solved. It is a Rose of Sharon. Only got one little bud on it, but that's okay. As it develops, it's still young, it'll get more. All right, there you go, mystery solved.